This is John Cena. Smash the like button. If you notice that all the stars from the World Wrestling Federation during the 90s were not homegrown talent.
Now, I want to say this for the record. I have no problem with all elite fake pro wrestling signing ex-guys from the World Wrestling Federation. Bro, that's business. This has been going on for the past 50 years. Nobody stays at one place forever. Unless you are a top guy, that does not happen. Eventually, your contract will run out and you will not be resigned. That's how that works. So, I saw a dumb comment from a guy named Ryan Satin on Twitter. This dude said, the moment Shane McMahon goes to all elite fake pro wrestling, they will no longer be a alternative in wrestling. He says this is a WWE light move. I'm like, bro, where the fuck is he supposed to go? Triple H does not want him back. The World Wrestling Federation does not want him back. So where should he go? If Shane wants to work, let him. If Con Man wants to sign him, let him. This is a damn job. Stop doing a goddamn tribalism. This is a company. Nobody stays at one company forever. Eventually, you will move on. That's what happens. This has been going on since the goddamn 90s, 80s. Right? Hulk Hogan was not a homegrown talent. Macho Man Randy Savage was not a homegrown talent. For example, Rick Rude was not. Nobody was. Taker wasn't. Sting wasn't. Ric Flair wasn't. Vince McMahon signed these guys from other companies. Okay, so why are we putting a spotlight on Shane McMahon? In fact, the majority of all the top guys from the Attitude Era, they came from WCW. That's the part that people overlook. The Undertaker, Brian Pillman, etc. A lot of people came from WCW and they went to the World Wrestling Federation. So to say Shane McMahon going to all elite wrestling is a bad thing? No. Listen, nobody is obligated to stay loyal to a company if that company does not want them. That is not how that works. If Triple H don't want Shane, that means Shane can go anywhere he wants. Lex Luger, he left WCW, and then he went to the World Wrestling Federation, and then he left again. Same with Psycho Sid Justice. People think Tony Khan Man jerks off to people from the World Wrestling Federation. Not true. This is business. By that same logic, you could say TNA jacks off to people from the World Wrestling Federation. Like I said, if the WWE does not want to sign you, you can go anywhere you want. So you want these people to be unemployed? Like, fuck the World Wrestling Federation. If they don't want to re-sign fucking Swerve Scott, if they don't want to re-sign Daniel Bryan, if they don't want to re-sign Matt Hardy, etc., Lashley, etc., MVP, etc., they can go anywhere they want. And yes, all elite fake pro wrestling, it is still an alternative. Look back at all the top guys from the World Wrestling Federation during the 90s. Kevin Nash came from WCW. Scott Hall also came from WCW. They always traded talent back and forth. Kane, he also came from WCW. He was a job guy. Same thing with William Regal. He left WCW. Same thing with Dustin Rhodes. He became Goldust. So, look here, man. Everybody trades talents. That's what makes the business healthy. Everybody can use a change of scenery. Ask Stone Cold Steve Austin. Ask Brian Pillman. Everybody can use a change of scenery in professional wrestling. That's what makes the business fresh. Now, when it comes to Ricochet, aka Ricochet, he's different. Because the only time I feel like yo ass should leave the World Wrestling Federation is when they don't know how to book you. And Triple H has nothing for you. But Ricochet was in storylines. Last time I checked, he was in a feud with Dragunov. So he had everything going for himself on Raw. Why would you fucking leave just to have a one-off match with Ospreay? What are you going to do after this match? Nobody. And The Rock means nobody is going to care about you. You are linked with Ospreay. The moment you guys are done with each other, nobody will care about you. But when Ricochet was on Raw, he was doing just fine. I don't get you people. Look at Ricochet on Dynamite. He is not a main eventer. So what more can Triple H do for him? He's a mid-carder. There's nothing wrong with that, people. Not everybody can be a main eventer. Well, part of that, don't you understand? The main event scene is not for everybody. There's levels to this. Ricochet is a mid-carder. There's nothing wrong with it. Scott Hall was a mid-carder. Goldust was. Who cares? Chris Jericho was a mid-carder for the majority of his career in the World Wrestling Federation. Who cares? Who cares about being a mid-card guy? That does not mean you are not being used well. Focus on the talent first. Talent-wise, Ricochet had no business as a main eventer. Can you imagine Roman Reigns versus Ricochet at SummerSlam? No, you cannot imagine it. I can't imagine fucking Ricochet versus Drew Mac, the Mac Daddy, at SummerSlam in a fucking main event. No. Hell, Ricochet was lucky to face Logan Paul. Okay? He was lucky. Overall, Ricochet is boring. It's like, why do you indie fans hype up this guy? Prince Puma is dead. Ricochet said he's never going back to Prince Puma. He's dead. He's gone. Okay? He's boring. He's just a flippy-dippy guy. But when he was on Raw, Triple H was trying to do something with him. He was going to turn heel on Dragunov. That's why I'm pissed off at Ricochet. Triple H was on the verge of doing something with this guy. He was on TV every week. Okay? Where's Omos? Omos is not on TV. But Ricochet was. So how can you say he was not booked right? What the fuck is he doing now? He's about to have a one-off dream match next week with Ospreay. So I'm saying to myself, okay, what more? Is there more? He has no more dream matches on this roster. He's going to go back to being just another guy on the roster. I don't get it. He was doing just fine on Raw. That's why he had a relationship with Dragunov. Eventually, he was going to turn on Dragunov. But he fucking blew it. He blew it because you fans brainwashed him. You gave him the idea that he was not booked right. You gave him the idea that he was held back. I'm like, bro, it's a you problem, right? Right? Because you can't say he was held down. He had two bosses. Two. Vince McMahon, and then we moved on to Triple H. Dude, it's a him problem. He's not that guy. He's not a main eventer. What part of this don't you understand? He was perfectly fine in that mid-card. That's what he is. He's not going to be a main eventer on Dynamite, I guarantee it. Because there's too many guys that do the same shit that he does. But I will say this. Shane McMahon will bring more eyes to this product. This show needs a splash. This show needs Shane McMahon. We need a McMahon on this show. That's what we need. We need Shane McMahon. I don't care how many eyeballs he will bring. He will bring something. He's a McMahon at the end of the motherfucking day. A McMahon will be signed to a different wrestling company. And I think that's special. But to say by this signing, they are no longer an alternative, they are WWE Light. Bro, this is wrestling. Have you seen WCW? Have you seen the World Wrestling Federation during the 90s? They were trading talents, okay? Back in the 80s, they were trading talent with the NWA. And yes, I did see that MVP is now an all elite fake pro wrestler. I feel like, hey, that's a good move. As long as MVP has a damn job, who cares? If Triple H don't want him, where else should he go? He needs a goddamn job. He has to work. Like, stop being a fucking tribalist, man. If a different company does not want you, you can go anywhere you want. Now, do I think this is a good move for Bobby Lashley? No. Lashley should not be here because he's a big man. Con Man does not like big men. This is the wrong company. I feel like Bobby Lashley he should have worked it out with Triple H. Him and Triple H, they should have talked it out because Cody Rhodes needs more opponents. But what do I think about Hook? Yes, Hook is leaving. Okay, look it up. Google it. Right now, go on Google, type in Hook, and type in the WWE. He's leaving. Okay, this has been reported for the past 5 months. It says he will test out free agency, which means yes, he's leaving. Shawn Michaels has a high intrigue with Hook. He wants to sign Hook. This company wants to bring in Hook. That's why they retired the FTW Championship. That's why Taz was crying. Because he knows his son is going up to the motherfucking big leagues. Now, his last match, it might be against Jack Perry. That's my prediction. His last championship match, it might be against Jack Perry, and then that's when Hook will leave. Because the FTW Championship, that was the only thing that was keeping him relevant in this company. And for them to vacate it and to retire it, that means he's leaving. So, what is his upside in NXT? I think he has huge upside. I think this guy will be a mega star in NXT on a CW network, and I can't wait. Hook will be a mega star on that show. But yes, that's why they retired the FTW Championship, because it makes no sense to keep it, right? It makes no sense to keep it if he's leaving. Without Hook, there is no FTW Championship. There's no point. So that's why they retired it. Taz also wants Hook in NXT. Look it up. Google it. Taz wants his son in the World Wrestling Federation because he feels like Hook is better off in that company under proper leadership. But yes, Google it. It says that Hook, his contract is coming up before the year ends. Okay? So I'm not lying here. Okay? I'm not lying, you stupid dumb bitch. His contract is expiring before the end of the year. So can you match the time frames? If his contract is expiring and he says he wants to test out free agency, well, you gotta connect the dots. That's why they retired the championship, because Conman knows he's leaving. So I'm not lying, you stupid dumb bitch. Let's talk about Danny Garcia. Now, I'm hearing strong ass rumors that he might leave for the World Wrestling Federation. That's what I'm hearing. Because I heard that they are not confident that they can resign Garcia. Because once Shawn Michaels and Triple H have a high interest in you, that means you're leaving, okay? Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime offer. I think he's leaving. Because if the bigger company wants you, then what's the point of staying? He's not Max, right? He's not Darby. He's not Jack Perry right now. He's not being pushed as a top guy. There's no guarantees that Garcia will be a top guy in All Elite Fake Pro Wrestling. So if the better show, which is NXT, if they have a high interest in you, you should take that offer, because those guys are going to the CW network. They need talent. They need bright young stars on that roster. Why not bring in a Garcia? Like I said, Garcia reminds me of a young Alex Wright. I think Shawn Michaels will book him like a young Alex Wright. I do believe he will bring back that dance. I think that's why Shawn Michaels wants him, because of that fucking dance. Listen, man, that dance is mega over. I love that dance. At least that dance is a character and a gimmick. That's what Shawn Michaels likes. He thinks Garcia has a gimmick. Why not bring it in to NXT? Like I said, I am very open to the idea of Garcia in NXT. I think he will be a solid mid-card guy. I see him maybe fighting for the North American Championship and possibly moving up if Shawn Michaels likes him. Now, at first, I was shocked when I found out that NXT wants him. I gotta be honest, I was shocked. I'm like, him? But now I'm starting to believe why now. I'm starting to open up to the motherfucking idea. Because, man, if he brings that dance to NXT, my God, he's going to be mega over. Don't you understand? Okay? If he brings that dance, he's going to be a star. So, what kind of upside does Garcia have in the World Wrestling Federation? I think he has a chance to be the next Alex Wright. He has a chance to be the next Fandango. A better booked Fandango. A Fandango done right. I think Garcia has huge upside under the leadership of Shawn Michaels. Same as Hook. Look at Ethan motherfucking Page. So, to make a long story short, this company needs Shane McMahon. There's no problem with both companies trading talent. Like, who cares? This has been going on forever. Like, stop trying to make it a big deal. Stop saying, oh, Con Man loves guys and girls from the World Wrestling Federation. Yes, bitch. Same as Eric Bischoff. Same as Paul Heyman in ECW. Same as TNA. Okay? This is a fucking job. Look, as long as these wrestlers are being employed, who cares where they work? As long as they are eating, that's automatic, and I'm done.